The average age of someone who does this is 38. I'm actually surprised it's that old. You might be too, and it's your number of the day. Brian grew up in a broken family, but what he got in the mail the other day that will change his future might make you smile. This is the ultimate productivity hack, how to add 2 extra hours to your day every day. It's a way to level up your life. And the method that solves any problem in 30 seconds. It's easy, but also harder than you think, too. That's coming up on The Good News Show with Andy, where I'm all about putting a smile on your face and hope in your heart.
The Good News Show with Andy.
The number of the day is
38. That's the average age of someone who runs marathons. It's actually older than I thought, and maybe you've done something a little later in life. It's never too late. I remember learning to dive when I was in my late 20s, which doesn't seem that old, but I just remember that my friends all learned when I was a teenager, and we'd go to the pool in the city, and they would always try to get me to dive, and they'd have their friends that were lifeguards would try, and no one could do it. Until one summer, I decided in my late 20s that I was going to go to a pool with my kids during the summer, and every time I went with them, I was going to try and try and try. And hundreds of belly flops later, I can now dive. And I got to tell you, there's nothing like the sense of accomplishment that can only come from doing something that you never thought was possible.
Hi, I was just calling in because you guys asked to call in about the Never Too Old.
Yeah, I just talked about how I finally learned how to dive when I was in my late 20s after trying for at least 15 years.
I actually have a Never Too Young, if that's okay to share with you guys. You're never too young to surrender your life to the Lord. I grew up in drugs and alcohol and partying, and I surrendered my life to the Lord when I was 25. Before that, I had this mindset of, I'm just young and I'm just going to get that out now. But now seeing what the Lord has done in my life in a little bit over 2 years, I am absolutely astounded by his mercy and his grace and his love.
Because you woke up this morning, God's not done with you.
Hi, I got a great 90-year-old grandma story for you. My grandma, her name was Eileen Roper, and when she was 90 years old, she had her songbook of Christian songs that she had written over her whole life finally published. And then just recently, my brother, who's a musician, has published a bunch of her songs.
What a beautiful way to keep her memory alive and pass on her legacy.
She was just such a servant of, Jesus. She's just a wonderful grandma. I just miss her so much.
I hope this story makes you smile today.
If you think you're at the end of your story, it might just be the beginning of a beautiful new chapter. Well, Brian knows that firsthand. He grew up in a broken family. His dad was a meth addict his entire life. And Brian was always afraid that was his future as well. But the other day, Brian, with a big old smile on his face, posted a picture of him holding a letter. And that letter said that he was accepted to his top choice of medical school. Because there's no limit to where you can go when you let God write your story. If you are in a season of stillness, but you are restless for something to change, maybe think about the monarch butterfly. And if you've ever seen one, they're beautiful, but you may not know their full story. They actually travel from Canada to Mexico, 3,000 miles in 1 year. How can something so small go so far? Well, believe it or not, monarchs can travel between 50 to 100 miles a day. They ride wind currents and they rest when the wind is against them. And slowly but surely, they make their trek. Your life, my life, it's kind of the same. Because it says in the Bible that the Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, as some count slowness, but he's patient towards you. So as we're not going anywhere, you feel the wind pushing against you and you think, I can't make any progress. Remember this, that God's timing isn't our timing, but it is good. And it looks like you've got a text from God. I'm working it for your good. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it now, but I'm turning every piece, every pain, every delay into purpose. If it's not good yet, God is not done yet. Here's how to add 2 hours to your day and level up your life. Always work from a list. When something new comes up, add it to the list before you do it. Bonus points if you do this list the night before, because as you sleep, your subconscious mind will start to order your next day for you. Just learn about a way to feel like you're more rested is just to trick your brain to tell it you slept better and you'll feel better. It's placebo sleep, but I feel like that's not going to work forever. I've heard that slow breathing really helps.
As you guys are learning to breathe to calm yourself, Jesus has many names. One is Yahweh. As you breathe in saying Yah and exhale saying way, and it will calm you down, especially when you're driving in rush hour traffic.
Michael's got some advice on how to sleep better.
Yeah, the fancy words for it are sleep hygiene. No devices before bed. No liquids after 5.
Wow, those two things and you sleep like a baby.
Yep.
Although I have to say, as a dad of 3, babies don't sleep that well, so I'm not sure why we say that. In 1986, a man named Brian Tracy revealed the method that solves any problem in 30 minutes. So this is before the internet, and it's your daily joy scroll, which is me sharing videos for you from the internet. Ironic, I know. Here you go.
Go into the silence. Go and sit down quietly by yourself for 30 to 60 minutes. Any problem that you have, any difficulty, any challenge, any goal that you want to accomplish, if you'll go into the silence and sit quietly and then listen to the still small voice within, you will find that at a certain point, your mind will go completely clear, and wham, exactly the answer you need will come at exactly the right time.
It's happened this way in the Bible and now too. God often speaks in a whisper. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you know who's struggling with an addiction, and you just think, I don't know how it's going to get better. It starts with someone just caring and checking in. David's doing that online with a bunch of guys in their addictions. And he says checking in is just a life-changing concept, because when you care about someone and when someone knows that you care about them, incredible things can happen. If you love it, I don't understand it. A lot of people love Costco. Sean does, and he says, actually, I buy all my clothes there.
I buy it so often that I know this line that the receipt checking lady has at Costco. She always says, now, if any of those are too big, you can bring them back anytime. The fact that they're going to be too big is her assumption. That's great customer service. I like that lady.
Just found out that I guess capris are back in style this summer. I mean, don't take my word for it. I just read the internet for you so you don't have to. But it made me think, this is why we don't ever throw anything out.
Yeah, my dad was raised in the Depression, and so he would typically keep food up to 10 years after the expiration date, and he's still going strong at 97, so maybe it's not so bad.
Does it make you a little weary sometimes having dinner at his house?
Oh, yeah, we always have confrontations about the expiration dates.
It's hard to throw things away, especially when you think, I might use it someday, like capri pants are back in style this summer. But what if we're finally determined to clean out a closet? What's that first step look like?
You take a big bag, like a grocery bag preferably, or a white hefty bag. You go around the room, everything that you don't want sitting out or clothes, you stuff in this bag. I know it sounds bad. Then you stuff the bag in a closet and shut the door. You can have up to 3 bags is the limit.
What? I've never heard a tip like that before.
My girlfriend, I learned it from her, and she said in 3 months you have to put the stuff away.